Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm messing around with my overlays in Ecamm Live, and I've got something screwed up. So I had that BOOKWARD BOUND title over a BOOKWARD BOUND title. Really kind of awkward, but that's not surprising. And hey, it's me, DP Knudten, here for another exciting edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, the ongoing slog that I am doing every day for at least some period of time, working on my book that I'm going to have done and ready for publishing, self-publishing via Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing by January 1st, 2021. So last night's episode, I looked at it today. It looks like the internet might be having a little bit of a problem with all these people live streaming or streaming Netflix, Hulu, and everything else. And it didn't turn out all that well, so I'm hoping tonight it does a little bit better job, but I'm not holding my breath at the same time. I suppose I probably could go from 1080p to 720. I could lower the resolution of my live stream, and I might do that next time. But I forgot to do it before I started the Ecamm Live, so forgive me if I kind of messed that up. Hey, Mandy. Good to see you. Mandy is a member of Nonfiction Brand, which is, of course, related to the topic of this book, which is called Nonfiction Brand, Discovering, Crafting, and Communicating the completely true, completely you brand you already are. And actually, I'm going to really put a face and an image to that book idea, because instead of actually writing the book or working on the outline, I think I'm going to work on the book cover design. Because, frankly, I suffer from shiny object syndrome every once in a while, and I get a little bored with doing the stuff that I've been doing over and over and over again. So I think I'm definitely going to work on that cover tonight using Affinity Publisher. Now, I was a longtime user of Adobe Creative Suite, paying $59 a month or whatever to have access to everything Adobe makes. And I did that happily for years until I started looking back and seeing how much I'm paying to use essentially Adobe InDesign, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Acrobat Pro, and then Premiere Pro. And I'm like, okay, that's 5 software packages. And what would I expect to pay for 5 software packages? Probably Pro level, $300 a piece, 300 times 5, $1,500. And, so it made sense. And for the longest time, I kind of said, well, I get access to all the new updates. Well, if you aren't using all the power in the current update you have, this new stuff they add, you just might be adding more motor to an engine that you personally don't drive faster than 40 miles per hour. Why would I have a 1,000 horsepower engine in something that I just chug along going put, 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 put? I kind of got sick of that. So over the holidays, I started looking around to see if there was an alternative to Adobe InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, et cetera, et cetera. And I've done this a couple of different times, and there was never a good option until I came across Affinity. Affinity Publisher, Design, and Photo. Basically, they're analogs of Photoshop, etc., but they're only $49 a piece. And so I think there's a free trial that you can do, like 14 days or something like that. And so I downloaded Adobe or Affinity Publisher, and I tried it, and I'm like, okay, number one, it kind of looks and feels like InDesign, so I dig that. And then I started playing around with it and had everything I needed. I kind of had to figure out a couple of things that are a little bit different. Some of the nomenclature changes because they don't want to blatantly rip off Adobe InDesign, stuff like that. But anyway, I started using it and decided I'm going to do a one-time payment of $49 times 3, so $150 about, for 3 software packages that do 90+% of everything, and probably 100% of what I used Adobe Creative Suite for. But I was not using all the super pro tools, you know? So anyway, Affinity Publisher, I'm going to show you what it looks like right now, because this is Affinity Publisher. And you can see in here, I've already got a template layer. Like here, let me turn off layers here, or bring the template. I can move that up to the top, and you'll be able to see the entire, hold on. You can see there's the template, right? I suppose I could have turned off all the other layers, but anyway, this is a template that I got from Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, and it's basically a template to design your book cover, in this case for a 6-inch by 9-inch book with a 0.56-inch spine. And when I went to get this template, they actually ask you how many pages you think your book's going to be. So I picked 250 pages. And so they automatically generated this with a spine width that is appropriate for a book of 250 pages. And I just downloaded it, and I use it as a layer within Affinity Publisher. And again, all I have to do is move this all the way back down to the bottom. And you'll see I've already just started designing the front cover and the spine. And now I'm going to be working on the back cover. But before I do that, I want to talk briefly about, hey, DP, you're pretty much a narcissist putting your photo on the front cover of this book. And to be honest with you, yeah, there might be a little bit of truth to that. But I want to show you why I'm doing it. And that is, if I go over to, where is it? Okay, so Nonfiction Brand Podcast, we're already up to episode 83, which is airing this week, I think, premieres this week. See, Affinity Photo is going to open this image up. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Sorry. I want to open up new into the, okay, right here. Bingo. This is the cover art for my Nonfiction Brand Podcast. I guess they call it a poster frame or something like that. So when you open up your podcast player, you should see this little 4x4 square of the name of the show and a picture of me. So this is what I'm already using for my podcast. I thought, well, good branding dictates, just because you get bored of it, don't stop doing it. So I may be bored or a little bit worried that people might think I'm a little bit of a narcissist for having my photo on the front cover. But at the same time, I'm trying to build my position, my notoriety, my brand, and this sums up my brand. I mean, the type style, that kind of strong impact font, that's a brand choice. My photo, black and white, that's a brand choice. My beard growing in, black and white, that's not my choice, but it's nature's choice. So it's 100% natural, baby. 100% authentic, just like my brand. So I'm like, well, my cover should be too. And so I started designing this thing, because one of the things that really helps me write a book, and I think probably helps a lot of people, is to see what the book is actually going to look like before you start writing it. You got to see it to be it. Well, here's an example of see it to be it. So I started working on this already. I've got the front cover basically set up a little bit. A couple of things I want to point out just for people to understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I've got a plug-in right here for a blurb, which no one has written yet. Why? Because it's a reminder to me to, oh yeah, get people to blurb the book, find someone who's going to say something hopefully nice about the book, and make sure you've got room for their comment. Same thing down here. This Collaborator Publications logo mark. Well, my company name is Collaborator Creative, and that is the way Collaborator Creative's logo looks. All I did was swap out the creative at the bottom with publications, and all of a sudden, I'm a book publisher. And here's the thing, if you're publishing your own book and you want it to look like a book, do all the things book publishers do, even though you're self-publishing it yourself. Now, I'm trying to find, okay, so this bad boy was my first book, which I published. Rotoma, the ROI of Social Media Top of Mind. Oh, who's the publisher of that? Ew, it's Collaborator Publications. Oh, look on the side, they got their little indicia there. You know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, all the cues that this is a real book are included. You know, barcode, the Collaborator Publications, URL at the bottom, capsule summary of the book, about the authors, a little bit there, etc. So this is going to be the model that I use for my new book. Well, if you don't have a book, pick a book that you like and you like the design, and don't reinvent the wheel. Just put your spin on it. Ooh, I like that. Put your own spin on the wheel. I'm going to write that down. You don't have to, sorry, iThoughts. If you've been paying attention, you know that I use iThoughts to capture the odd ideas that pop into my head. I want to capture that. So open recent. There we go. So what did I say? Don't reinvent the wheel. Put your own spin on it. All right, so great. I have a new section of the book, or maybe it's going to be a subsection that I'll put someplace. I don't know. But the whole point is, oh, that's actually a good idea that fits what this book is going to be about. And of course, I should have shown you what I was typing when I did it. But in iThoughts, my mind mapping / outlining software, I just plugged in, don't reinvent the wheel, put your own spin on it. And that'll be a reminder. Hey, David, write this section or include this in one of the other sections of the book. It's an idea. It's a kind of pithy idea. It's a memorable idea. And you'll notice it kind of goes nicely with the one right above it. Step out of the shadows and into your own personal brand spotlight. That was another thing I said the other night that I liked. So again, do these ideas warrant a full section in the book? I don't know yet, but it's a key concept that I want to make sure I include in the book at the appropriate place, in the appropriate place. Had I had that idea and just written it down on paper, that might have helped. But the fact that it's in my master mind map, I can always go back to this no matter where I am, even on my phone, because iThoughts has a version that is also for Mac OS phones. I don't know if it has Android. You'll have to look it up. But iThoughts X for laptop or desktop, and iThoughts HD, I think, is probably the iPad / iPhone version. Don't quote me on that. They're not paying me, so I'm not going to get their name right. Now, hey, iThoughts, if you want to pay me or give me free software or something, I'll get your names right. But until then, I'm going to butcher your branding based on my memory. That's the way it works when I have to pay for it. I'm in charge. All right, so I got that idea down for later inclusion in the book, and now I want to go back to this to design this thing. And one of the things I want to make sure I preserve is this barcode thing. So I'm going to create a new layer and call it barcode square or barcode box, because it's not technically a square, right? Yeah, I am kind of a pain in the butt that way. That, well, it's not really a square, David. I grew up with a mother who is the most literal person in the world, and I fear that her literalism has rubbed off on me. David, that's not a square. That's actually a quadrangle, or it's more of a rectangle. Well, I don't want to call it a rectangle. Hold on, I got to get this sized up right. I don't want to call it a rectangle, but it is a box. It totally is a box. So I'm going to make sure that this fits exactly the size of the barcode thing. And over here, I can check to see, oh, this is in pixels. So I'm just going to trust that it's close to right. And then I'm going to fill that puppy with a little white goodness. And then I'm going to put some text on it. Go, BA. Oh, come on. Where are you? Come on. I gotta make sure that's black type. BARCODE. And this is looking very strange, so I'm going over to character, and I'm going to... Why is it doing that stretch out thing? All right, so this is showing up underneath the barcode. So if I go to layers, that's spine background. Barcode goes here, goes all the way up with barcode box. I don't know why it's looking so strange. I'm going to go make it impact, because everything has to have impact in my world. Yeah, I got a lot of fonts here. And why is this character opacity normal? Impact regular, no style. That's what it was. The tracking was wrong, so now option return. I'm going to just center this because I can. Make sure those are together and group them. So now those two things are grouped. And that, and I probably can lock this. I want to lock it because I don't want it to move. That's the key thing. Oh, how do you lock this? And again, I'm learning new software, so forgive me if I can't lock these things. Okay, so that should not be able to be moved. See, yay, I can't move it. All right, so I'm going to do another layer, and this is going to be full bleed. Okay, so you see this trim line? Well, here you can see exactly. You've got, this is the pink or salmon color is indicating full bleed. So like when they print it, they're going to print all the way past the edge where they're going to trim. The dotted line is where they're going to trim. And then on the inside of the salmon color here, That's the live area where it's more or less safe. You know, so if I put some type in the salmon edge here, like maybe a copyright symbol or something, it probably is not going to print right, or the trim might go right through it. So you don't want to do that. You only want to work in the live area. So I am going to create a box that is strictly live area. And I'm not going to kill myself on getting it exactly right. But I'm going to call this live area, back cover, live, not back cover live. And right now that's, I'm going to make it white. And right now it's one layer above the background. So I can move it one layer behind the template, or I can move it one layer above the template. And I think I'm going to lock that as well, so it can't move. But I still have the salmon showing to show me the areas where I can't be sure things are going to print or be shown 100% right. So now I'm going to get rid of all that stuff, and I'm going to make it black. And this will be back cover black. BG for background. All right, so, and again, I can show my live area here, but I've got everything in black. And the whole thing is, I'm not going to keep this live area white. I'm actually going to be playing with it in different colors, or but I just need the reference point. So I think what I should do is switch to the outline of it, and I'm going to do a light blue border. Where's my stroke? Right up here, stroke. And go a little bit. No, I got the wrong thing that I'm giving a border. So, hold on. Layers. Back on the live. That's what I want. All right. So now I want to give that my little blue, my cyan stroke. All right. See you, Mandy. Have fun. I want a dotted line stroke. I want it to be pretty noticeable. You can see I can make it very noticeable, or I can make it noticeable enough. And now I'm going to go like that. So boom, I've got my live area outlined here. I need to make sure to turn this off before I create a PDF that would go up to the printer. But still, I now know where my safe areas are. So using this book background as my template, you'll notice that I've got kind of a solid green, but I've got a box of kind of a lighter green. for a section of it. I'm going to do that again on this one, except it's not going to be green. It's going to be a gray. But I'm going to get rid of that. I am, however, going to give it a nice gray color. Probably a pretty dark gray. What is this, 75 or 50%? That's 75% gray. And one of the things I did on my other book was I gave it I'm going to cheat it in a little bit on both sides. And then I'm going to give it my maroon color. Sorry, cancel that. I just want to create a line, a maroon line. So I'm going to do this. Make sure that I can see the top and bottom of my box. That will automatically line it up. And that line is there, but right now it has no color. I want to give it a maroon, but I need to give that stroke some width. Right now it thinks dotted line. The fill color. Oops, that's right. I need to give the outer there you go. I want it to have a square end on both ends. And, you know, what does this line do? It's just a design cue. And I'm going to copy that. Head over here. And make sure it lines up more or less the same place. All right, so I can go down here. 1780. Make sure 1780. That's X. So what? Make sure my Y. And then I can put some text in here. Create a text box. Oh, come on. Don't do that. Create a text box, not text. There you go. I was grabbing the wrong tool. What else is now? And I'll just go. What do I want to say? I'm going to go color, white. is this not showing up? Let's do a bring to front. See, they don't do it the same way. Text. All right. Should be in front. Where's my gray box? Well, that's a different, okay. See, this is why you gotta label these things, which I never do. And that's why it's hurting me. There's picture frame. There you go. Quote, DP has done it again. Another book with far too many words and not enough scratch and sniff. Quote, all right, I need to adjust. I think I'm using Avenir. Avenir next. I don't want any weird. Let's take this down to 14. And then make sure the leading between the lines. Joe Blow. That's what Joe Blow had to say. And I'm Joe Blow. NYT best selling author of comma, and what am I going to say? The name of his book is Who Cut the Cheese? No, that's for. That's it. Whom the cheese cuts. All right, this is I do these as jokes for myself to keep myself interested in this project because it's a bear. It really is. And anyone who says, "Oh, I just love writing books. It's so much fun." I just go, what are you smoking? Because it's not fun. It is work. All right, 19. That's got some serious lighting. Just going to cut or copy this. Go space, and do it again. And again, again, period. Another book with far too many words. What Joe said. The wind is cold. You know, whatever. Again, these are just placeholders for me to remind myself to get some people to say some nice things about my book. And you can see, okay, so that adds a little style to it. Up here, oh my God, I've not been demonstrating this to you. Sorry about that. Up here in the corner of the book, I've got my prices, and this is where I play a little fun game. Actually, I wonder if I could do this. I probably can't. But anyway, okay, so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, what have I done over here? I've extended this way too much. Now, I think when I move something around, I messed up this. Do I want it that tight or go? Leave it like that. All right, so I've got more stuff I need to do, including putting the indicia or the section for the book cost. Typically, that'll be up in the back upper corner like this. I'm going to zoom in so I can really pay attention to it. I'm going to use Avenir next. And that's one of the things. You don't want to use too many different fonts when you're creating your book because it just horses it up and makes it look real amateurish. I'm using Avenir for the text, Avenir Next for the text, because that comes in a lot of different weights, which is really helpful. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go 20.95 U period S period slash 26.95 CAN. I go pound symbol. Ugh. That's not something I use every day, so I'm going to use the keyboard and symbols viewer. Pound. Yeah, I want the fancy pound. How big is that pound symbol if it's telling me? All right, I got some weird stuff going on. There we go. There's that pound symbol. Why does this have such incredible leading? Zero, 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 zero. %, letter height. All right, so how many pounds? I'm going to say 16.95, and then euros. 17.95 year. And this will be UK. I don't need periods, US. All right. One of the things I like about Avenir Next is it's got multiple weights. So I think that's demi-bold, bold italic, bold. I think demi-bold is just right. This is at, I'm going to make it 12-point type. One of the things I had to look up was, how do you get the box to close down? And the answer is, go to the dots on the side or the bottom. Oh, that didn't go right. Well, that didn't. Why is that not working? Oh, well. And I'm going to tuck it right up here-ish. So it's well within my live area, but with a little margin of error. Because, again, if they trim the book tightly, Control A, I just want to give it a little bit. There we go. Lovely. Okay, this is my joke too. It's not really a joke so much as an affectation. When I did this book, I put down the Canadian, the euro, and the UK pounds as a kind of personal joke to me. You know, I did it for me. But the funny thing is, this book is actually sold in Canada, the United Kingdom, and in the Eurozone. I never expected it to, but that's what happens when you put it up on Amazon CreateSpace, or what used to be called CreateSpace and now is called Kindle Direct Publishing. You can have access to an entire globe of book readers. How cool is that? Now, those prices listed there are the prices that are the list prices. I did this on purpose because both my co-writer Spencer Smith and I do a fair amount of speaking, and when we do, we bring books and we sell them. Well, my thinking was, okay, a lot of people do books like this and they charge $4.99, hoping that people buy it and, you know, appreciate it. Well, the bottom line is, I believe that a book that has the type of quality that I'm trying to do is worth paying something for. It's a business book. It's a book that's designed to help you create better relationships with your clients, your customers, and all that stuff. So it's worth investing in. If I price it too low, you're going to not appreciate it the way I think it should be appreciated. And certainly it's indicative of the quality of the book. And there's an old thing in advertising where if you give it away for free, no one appreciates it. And there's also a concept from advertising that is about the Cadillac that was priced $10,000 too low. True story. And I've heard it also said about recent Audi, a new Audi. They wanted to come out with an entry-level Audi, so they priced it, and it wasn't selling. And then they jacked the price up, you know, by $10,000, and it started selling. Why? Because people didn't want a cut rate price on a Cadillac or an Audi. They wanted to pay, because that's why you get one of those cars, that you can afford to pay for it. They aren't bottom feeders or bargain hunters. Well, my book, I don't want bargain hunters and bottom feeders to buy it. If they do, great. But mostly I want people to go, oh, there's a lot of value in here, and it was worth the money. So $20.95. Why $20.95? If I'm speaking and afterwards someone comes up and says, yeah, I'd like a copy of your book, there's a light. I don't want to play change maker. Whip out a $20 bill, boom, $20, good enough. I can run cards on my phone via Square. Same thing. Keep it simple. $20 plus the, I don't know, 57 cents that Square charges or something. But the main reason is because it's really easy for someone to pull a $20 bill out of their wallet, hand it to me. I give them a copy of the book. I get to sign my name in it to add more value to the book and also build my personal brand. I mean, seriously, that's one of the big reasons to write a book. It's hugely powerful in giving you credibility out there, especially a book that has some heft to it. You know, this is 216 pages, I think, you know, and people say it looks like a real book. And I say, yeah, it is a real book. No surprises there. But anyway, that's why I price it the way I do. And the Canadian, UK, and Euro numbers, that's just basic exchange rate stuff. I don't know if those numbers are still true, but I think they probably are very close. So the other thing, and this is a trick too, if someone's giving you a quote, put it in italics, because then it seems like an actual quote. Cool. So again, I'm hitting this book. Oh, I do want to do that. So let's see. What the heck? I did not want to do that. Where have you gone? Oh, that's an embedded thing. How do I want to do this? I think I need to move this up. There we go. And then I think. All right. All right, I'm going to end for tonight. But you can see it's already coming together. It's already beginning to take shape. I can see it in my mind. It is now making me more and more excited, going, "Oh, this is going to be cool. Yeah, I can see this now. It's starting to come true." Hold on, I want to make sure the type is it. Control A. I want to make sure that's Avenir next. Yeah, it is. Medium. I think I might give completely true, completely you a little heat. Because I can call it demi-bold. Boom. And there you go. It's not done yet, but it's getting there. And that's the whole point. I'm not going to finish the book tonight. I know that already. So why kill myself trying to finish the book tonight? I'm not going to. I'm going to take this and dream about it tonight because I've just worked on it and go, "Huh, you know what? I bet you I could do this, or I bet you I could do this." And actually, I want to move that in like that. Et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to kick this in a little bit. Kick that in a little bit. And I can make fine-tuning adjustments and stuff like that later. But anyway, that's enough for me tonight because I need to get my beauty sleep. I'm just saying. It's not just about writing beautiful words. It's about being a beautiful person and getting that beauty sleep. Yeah, my daughter, who's home, of course, because of COVID-19, has been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, and whenever I go upstairs to get something to drink or eat, I end up spending a few minutes going, interesting show. And it is. People being themselves, true to who they are. I can dig that. I can get behind that because that's what nonfiction branding is all about. Knowing who you are so you can be it. And Tilly, my little white dog, has just come down to say hello to me. So, and she's also telling me, "Hey, Dad, get off this thing and come play with me." So I'm probably going to do that as well. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, which comes out every Monday. This week's episode is number 83. It came out this past Monday with Jerry Ann Wiesbrook. Really fun episode. I hope you'll check it out wherever fine podcasts are free. And also Nonfiction Brandversity, the free Facebook group. All you have to do is search Nonfiction Brandversity on Facebook, ask to join, answer 3 questions to prove you're not a bot, and you're in. It's a place where people like me and you get together to help each other out, creating the completely true, completely you nonfiction brands that you already are. So check it out. Nonfiction Brandversity on Facebook. It's absolutely free, and you're absolutely in once you prove you're not a bot. I'll talk to you guys next time. So theme music, take us on out. Created in GarageBand for free because I'm a cheap-ass rat bastard. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.